Hello everyone, this is Korith Landwalker, and tonight we have another exciting episode of Star Trek Online. For those who have perhaps not been following along, I am playing with Admiral Tellel, my alien representative to the Romulan Republic, who has been faithfully going on this, well, pretty much this past year, doing episodes of Star Trek Online. We are all the way up to the Gamma Quadrant arc, which means we only have 3 more episode arcs after the Gamma Quadrant arc before we hit the grand finale. Luckily, that will still take us a while. I'm sure we'll be well into autumn before we get things wrapped up. Stay tuned. First, what we're going to do is we're going to take care of our usual administrivia, which is basically take care of any reputations, and I have gained some reputations here. We're going to collect the reward for the Delta Alliance, and we still have some marks to play with, so we'll throw more in. I need to get 55,000 reputation. I currently have... I have 55,000. I need 60,000. So there is every expectation that perhaps next week I will have Tier 4 Delta Alliance rep. We're also working on the Dyson Joint Command, and we are also likely to see Tier 4 right now, I think. Yes, we can claim Tier 4 reputation for the Dyson Command. Let's fill all that up. This will unlock another mission to discover more about the Voth and all that, but we're pretty much well past the Dyson Sphere right now, so I'm not entirely sure we care anymore. I might take care of it at some point, though, just to get rid of the extra line in my log. Now, I still have 34 Dyson Sphere marks, but I'm going to kind of bank them right now, just in case I feel like, well, is there actually anything in here that would actually be only 30 marks? No, the numbers we're looking at tend to be around 500. I don't think we're going to be doing anything with the Dyson Sphere marks. Yeah, I can't even get the Elite Dyson Compensation, which would give me an Elite Reputation mark, which is used for a number of the more exotic stuff. Hey, Legend, how are you doing this evening? Hope things are going fine on your end today. I'm just taking care of my pre-game warm-up, you could say, going through my various reputations and deciding what to do about what little I have left in the Dyson Sphere marks, which is going to be mostly, I ain't gonna do a thing. And finally, we have the ongoing rush to Tier 6 for the Romulus reputation. I still have plenty of marks. The race continues. Your Parasaur got eaten. Oh, rough break. For those who are unaware, Legend has been playing Ark, I believe. Ark, I forget the full name offhand, but I'm sure he'll type it in the chat momentarily. And I was watching him do a little bit of a stream on his Discord, and we were being highly entertained by his attempts to avoid being squashed, beaten, eaten, you name it. But apparently, one of his prize dino pets has become Dino Chow. That's the problem when you're raising your pets. You raise your pets, you want to see them healthy, and then there's the danger that they get eaten. Happens all the time. Okay, we've got the reputation out of the way. I don't think I have any skills that require me to up my specialization scores. No specialization points, although I am closing in. This bar up top here gives me an indicator of progress to my next specialization point. Hey, Roland, how are you doing? Hope things are good on your end of the monitor there. This bar tells me how much I've got to get to my next specialization point, and it's only a little over 3,600 experience points. So I think there's a fair chance that we'll get another specialization point before the end of this evening. Glad to hear it, Rogue. Glad to hear it. I'm going to do a quick plug here. Roland is doing some consideration on doing his own streaming at some point in the future. I don't know how far along he's gotten on that or any starting dates, but when he starts, I will be sure to plug it here. No pressure. All right. We've got our administrative out of the way. I don't feel any compelling need to sell off my equipment yet. I will take a moment to see if I can slap any extra Ketracel white on my Jem'Hadar there. Looks like he's been using some. So we'll just refresh all that. Alright. As mentioned a little earlier, we are hip deep in the Gamma Quadrant arc. In fact, we may very well wrap up that arc tonight. Quite possibly. But first, we must investigate the Herc homeworld, discovered in part thanks to Ferengi. I'm pretty sure it was the Ferengi. It might have been the research station. Either way, it was last week that we found out the location, and now we are going to follow up on that.
Researchers led by my friend Dr. Bashir have isolated several fascinating aspects.
Now, see, I don't seem to be having the speakers working properly here.
Insight on their native environment, specifically a metallic planetoid orbiting a pulsar.
Let's see if I can convince this to use the
proper
audio here.
Havas Kul in the Gamma Quadrant. I'm going there to investigate along with Captain Kieran in the Defiant. Dr. Bashir will accompany us as well.
No.
The doctor believes we'll find what we need to end this conflict on Havas Kul. If he's right, and
okay, hopefully everything's here. Hey, Cap, you can hear me. That's all that matters. Yeah, thank you for the good vibes there, but you know, it feels silly to be pausing, waiting for them to talk and do all the stuff there, and meanwhile the people who are watching the stream are hearing absolutely nothing. It just feels wrong. In any event, the good Cardassian representative has indicated that we're going to be going to a planetoid orbiting a pulsar within a nebula. The system of Havas Kul. So we're all going to go over there and we're going to take a look and we're going to see what kind of trouble we get into. Rewards, the usual trifecta, experience points, expertise, and dilithium ore. That's a bit like a turducken. I'm not even going to try to fathom that one. And even more Ketracel white because, you know, we cannot possibly go without more of the stuff that only one of my bridge officers could use. And honestly, if I didn't have that bridge officer from one of the earlier arcs that aren't in the main episode chain, I would have really no use for the Ketracel white except to feed it into the recycling bin there. Now we have an intriguing set of rewards here. I can get a Polaron ground weapon, a Polaron space weapon, and, or I should say, or a flare. Now, why would there be something so simple as a possible reward in this mission? Well, Tenebris Torquent, and I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly. It could be Torquent. Don't know. But it does kind of have a shadowy sound to it.
Be seeing you.
Alright. Let's transwarp our way there so we don't have to inflict the travel time on the viewership here. and we will begin our excursion into the Gavara sector. Rather unremarkable in most respects, save one. It has been a major staging area for Dominion fleets for over 100 years. I sure hope that's not foreshadowing of running into more of them. Oh, you'll notice here in the lower right, the Battle Zone Alert Final Assault. I've spoken of the way the Battle Zone works here for the Gamma Quadrant, where there would be portions of these that would have missions where you could go in and join other captains and do stuff and get progress towards this Final Assault, which is a final assault on the Founder's homeworld. Just wanted to mention that because I've mentioned the whole Battle Zone thing in the previous streams during my experience here in the Quadrant, and I wanted to point out that this tends to be the big one. And it's pretty similar to other battle zones, where the final battle is just a bunch of ships and it's a turkey shoot. Hey, Longsword, how are you doing this evening? Hope things are going well with you today. We are just about to begin the mission Tenebris Torquent. Torquent? I don't know. One of these days I should try to put that phrase into the Google and hear what it says with its translations and its pronunciations. Of course, it'll probably give me wrong stuff there too. Why make it simple? So let us begin. Wow, that was fast loading time. I'm not used to that.
I have to say, the survey reports on this system
Just working on
really
the
don't
Delta
do it
Recruit
justice.
Klingon.
The
Yeah, that's
Nebula,
something I've
the
got to
Pulsar,
do somewhere along the
Dark
line in the near
Energy,
future
and
too.
the Herc homeworld.
I made a couple, but I haven't actually started work on any of them. I'm considering one of them being the point of view character once I've wrapped up Tel-El's adventures, but I'm still undecided. We'll find out. Let's see. No Herc ships on sensors. That's
Nor
probably
I.
a strange
Isn't
thing.
that strange? One would think they'd place a heavy guard on their home system. How peculiar. Let's use this opportunity to look around. Quietly, of course.
Well, if there's one thing that a Romulan knows how to do, it's be stealthy.
We're reading a number of interesting phenomena, despite interference from the nebula. Let's see. Plethora of heavy metallic compounds.
See, we got plenty of ships flying by here.
A hotbed of tetryon and thermobaric energy throughout the nebula. Huh?
There's a moon nearby.
Oh,
Preliminary scans aren't showing
Captain
much,
Kira is with us
but
too.
it's just the kind of place the Herc could be using to hide a base. Or a fleet. I'd like to take a closer look.
Well, let's take that closer look.
The Pulsar's throwing off a
It'd be
lot
embarrassing
of
to
hazardous
get
energy.
really close and get attacked by 50 billion Herc ships after all.
Most astute, Captain. Let's make the appropriate shield adjustments.
I don't like this. Scans are showing a lot of bare rock, but no metals or compounds. It's a lot like...
Like it's being completely stripped of anything remotely useful? The calling card of the Herc, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they do tend
Perhaps we
to
should
look like
send down
strip
a
miners
probe
for the
just
most part.
To be absolutely sure. There could be some Herc down there, hidden by the nebula's effect on our sensors.
Now, the real tragedy of today is there are going to be almost no endeavors taken care of here because we're not going to be doing any Lucari, we're not going to be running into any Terran ships, and the space missions of the Gamma Quadrant tend to be awfully lacking in materials to harvest. To prove this, yep, 0 anomalies, so
It's barely
no
Class
harvestable
D,
in this
metals,
mission.
complex compounds, liquids, or atmosphere.
The interior is a complex maze of tunnels. Thousands of them.
This matches Herc patterns we've seen elsewhere. They've been here.
Ah, Dr. Bashir is with us too.
The probe is online and transmitting. Our science teams are taking a close look at the incoming data, but it doesn't look terribly promising. Shall we forge on? There's a lovely planet nearby. nearby, no doubt filled with a bounty of toxic rocks and metallic salts.
Well, you know, despite his pessimism, why not check it out?
Entering scanning range now.
These astronomic readings are strange. The planet has a highly eccentric orbit. Looks like it collects matter from the nebula as it sweeps around the pulsar, all while being bombarded with radiation. Definitely not habitable by most standards, though it's not quite demon class.
You know, I just want to take a quick pause here. That with all the styles of planets they've referred to in the past, like Class M planets and the like, it amuses me that they've actually made a class of planet called Demon Class. I mean, it's supposed to indicate really, really hostile, but that sounds so unprofessional.
An orbital period of several thousand years. That explains the Herc life cycle. They must hibernate while the planet is at the far range of its orbit. This orbit coincides with the previous emergencies of the Herc. The 1,000-year cycle explains why they appear suddenly, then vanish just as quickly.
So all we gotta do is move the planet so it's at the far range of the orbit. That's not really practical, is it? Oh, I like the idea.
We're reading complex structures here, along with power systems and technology. This could be a base of operations for the Herc. It appears to be deserted. Why don't we take a look around? This could be a prime opportunity.
Let's meet on the Defiant. We'll need to make some preparations before we send an away team down there.
Okay, let's reintroduce our away team. In addition to myself, we also have Varsal, Shayla, Varara Talon, and my personal favorite, No! I will never, ever get tired of that. Love seeing Garrick in the game. Yeah, if there's one thing that Star Trek Online has done really well, it's get the actors from the various series to reprise their roles in various spots in this game. I mean, we've got LeVar Burton, we've got, well, a very large chunk of the... Oh, what's this? What's this? Do I want to become famous? Do I want to become famous? Oh, finally, my moment has come. I can at last be famous. Oops, I hit the ban button. Too bad. I've really got to stop. I got to slow down, that sort of thing. Oh well, fame is fleeting anyway. But yeah, we've got the folks from Voyager during the Delta Quadrant arc. We don't have very many people from Enterprise. In fact, I'm pretty sure we don't have anybody from the Enterprise series. We even got some from Discovery, which is an arc or two ahead of us. We've even got a couple from the original series, honestly. Alright, let's beam it down.
I've sent a team down to establish a secure zone. They're ready for you, but you'll want to put on an EV suit before you beam down. We have some in that container for you to use. Once you're suited up, we'll beam you down to the secure zone. It's just below the planet's surface in a large cavern area.
Okay, looks like it's going to be environmental suit time. So, let's start with getting No equipped. Shayla. Varara Talon. Man, I sure hope that when we beam down he actually has a suit on, or it's going to look awfully embarrassing. Hey, hello, Marhawk Man. Hope life's treating you well today. A time to assimilate more peeps. No. We're dealing with a Herc this evening. No, we don't want any Borg down here. That would just be adding insult to injury. I don't even want to think about what an assimilated Herc would be like. As for Tellel, she gets the good suit. Straight from the Solanae arc. It seems so long ago. Let's activate the suit. And I should be ready to step onto the transporter, beam the surface, and hopefully not die immediately. Lots of Star Trek people on my stream. Well, you know, Star Trek Online, it's gotta follow it. And while there are plenty other, undoubtedly better streamers out there, I like to think that I'm at least somewhat entertaining. As you can see on my upper right hand side, life is going to be made really miserable by the fact that I have no map. In fact, if I go to the big map, so here's where we're going to have a lot of possible entertainment, watching me wander around and retrace the same steps over and over and over again. Okay, Varsal tells me this chamber appears to be a natural cavern, but readings show unusual energy and a lot of magnetized metals and salts not far from here. Some of the caves near here have a regular structure, like they were dug out rather than naturally occurring. Maybe the Herc have something like an ant hive. Let's check with Kira's away team. And let's see, yes, all my people are wearing spacesuits. Now here's where I'm a little jealous. Dr. Bashir has a helmet where you can see his face. Garrick has a helmet where you can see his face. I and the rest of my crew are completely opaque. I think I resent that a little bit. Oh, even the crewmen here, you can see their faces. I'm really hurt. It hits me right here.
I should have a habitation area set up soon.
I can see his face.
Replace the reducing atmosphere in this cavern with standard oxy-nitro, and it warm things up a bit. Kane's keeping watch, and Weir is looking into other connected areas. We should have a perimeter field up within a few minutes.
Now, admittedly, they have the benefit of, you know, having relatively standard kind of heads. I mean, can you imagine a standard Klingon spacesuit with a Gorn head inside of it? How do you get that to render properly? Oh, sure. Down here they have harvestable materials. Of course, on the other hand, it is a harvestable material, and I'm attracted to shiny objects, so... If I recall correctly, the dev said it's NPC only because it basically requires the game to crawl 2 heads. I can believe that. Technical limitations are the bane of every MMO. And you find creative ways to work around it, but in some ways it just isn't going to work out. And for the wide variety of stuff that the players can do,
A lot of background radiation.
the mind
and
boggles.
some wild magnetic fields. It's like the pulsar and the nebula are supercharging the metallic crystal compounds here. The environment's very different from anything we consider a habitable planet. Explains why the Herc are so alien. Quite a treasure for a geologist like myself.
Well, so far so good. Let's see if the Defiant has any news for us now that we've set up in this deep, dank, dark cavern. Oh, that's a good sign. The cutscene coming right up. Nice view, though.
Everything's in order here. Defiant, do you still have a lock on us?
Affirmative.
Oh, thank God. For a minute there, I thought we were getting no response.
There may be a slight delay due to pulsar emissions.
I'm getting something odd on my tricorder.
That's right, folks. We've just transitioned to a horror movie.
Up there!
This can't be good. And what kind of horror movie would this be if we didn't have the part where everybody got separated? Where you can be picked off one by one. Gotta say one thing, the light on my suit is really bright.
Glad you're still with us. Whatever that was must have left you for dead. I'd get moving in case it comes back to make sure. Looks like you're in a series of tunnels that connect to a larger cavern. Garrick and Bashir are close to your position. They're moving into a large open chamber. Try to make your way to them.
At least I'm not getting eaten by demon bears. For those who... most folk probably don't understand that reference either, but we were watching a Twitch stream from Legend Eternal a while back. Well, okay, it was in the last week or so. Where he was streaming The Long Dark, and he was giving us a wonderful demonstration of what it is like to be mauled by a demon bear repeatedly. Again, and again, and again.
Be careful. Some
That
of the
said,
crystal formations down there are
mauling may
immune to
happen
intense
today.
amounts of
Don't
energy.
rule it out.
We can't lock on to anyone with transporters, and the others are
I'm
reporting
not
that
getting
directed
eaten by a
energy
demon bear.
weapons
Not right now.
won't work.
Oh, energy weapons don't work. Awesome.
This is Bashir. Garrick
Let's
and
see,
I are
am I
alive,
carrying any
but we're a
melees?
little lost.
I do have a couple melee weapons. I've got a couple pikes, I believe. I got this polearm, draconian polearm, and Lex. Oh, that's Lex throwing knives. Well, you know what? That'll give me a ranged weapon and a melee weapon. So we're going to swap out my usual weaponry. Let's move things around a bit so that I don't lose track of what weapons I had armed at any given time. Which is not as simple as it sounds sometimes. Oh, it kills me to give up my flamethrower right now, though. Yeah, make sure I have a good defense against melee attacks. Oh, yeah. Oh, unfortunately, this is as good as it's going to get. Got your shield, which doesn't really help against melee, and you've got the armor, which by definition is the spacesuits. Life is going to get really, really entertaining here. Oh, catchy. The end of this weapon looks exactly like a Starfleet Delta, which makes a certain amount of sense because the Draconians, if you'll recall, way back when we started running into the Senkethi, Draconians were the wiped out race by the Genesis, protomatter weaponry. Photonic barrier generator works. Yeah, well, you know what? There's something else that works even better, and I will demonstrate that in a very, very short period of time. The Draconis people, they had Starfleet people among them, and they were being worshipped as, well, either gods or intermediary of gods. But it makes sense that the end of their weapon would be the Starfleet Delta. So, let's see if we can find our way out of here. Yes, the Draconians were those pre-warp guys who worship the beds and the Tsuli eggs. Yeah, admittedly, their choice of worship objects could have been better.
Keep moving. You should head up to another chamber.
Starfleet logo on the wall of their on the wall art on their wall.
The
Yeah,
creature's in a passage near your location. Stay sharp.
Yeah, that was a heck of a moment when you open that door and there's that big Starfleet Delta and you're thinking,
Garrick and I are
oh
moving
god,
into a
just when we
very
finished up the
large,
temporal
oblong
war.
chamber.
And here I was, hoping those cozy, cramped little tunnels would make a nice vacation spot.
Yeah, Garrick isn't really good with cramped locations.
Looks
He's
like
a little
the door to the
claustrophobic.
next chamber is locked.
Oh good, let's see what this chamber has.
Those readings you're getting from that crystal node are interesting. It's generating a localized magnetic field. Manipulating that field could cause a response similar to pushing a button or flicking a switch. I wonder, do you think Huck can sense magnetic fields similar to sharks on Earth?
Let's not bring up shark imagery,
Yes, of
thank
course.
you.
I think you'll find a way to manipulate that magnetic field to open the door. The morphogenic crystals are probably the keys. So look for one nearby that has a similar output to the door node.
Goody, so I need to scan crystals. Isn't that what got us into this mess in the first place? Oh, here's a very different looking set of crystals, so maybe they're from here.
The readings I'm getting on that crystal are weak.
Or maybe
It
not.
probably isn't usable.
Well, let's try the ones over here.
one's got an odd harmonic. Doesn't seem to match the rest.
Well, let's see if the rule of 3 works on our side here.
That's the one you need. Use it to open that door.
And there was much rejoicing. Open sesame. They do a nice job of the shadows in here. I had my hands up and I could see the big shadows of the hands on the door. I've tested this. It doesn't matter which one you grab first. It's always the third one. Yeah, that I've noticed that myself. I tried that myself on a number of occasions, and it just don't work out. You always gotta get all 3. Oh, speaking of things to be gotten, let's see what's happening as I explore around. Trouble with my tricorder. I bet it would be useful if it worked. Ah! And now, the ultimate defense against this guy. Run like hell. Run away! Run away! Which gets really entertaining because you see over
There's
here.
a deep crevice ahead of you. See if you can get across.
Jump! 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 Ah!
You can't fight that thing. Run!
I mistimed that one a little bit. Oh, thanks, Kira. I'm glad you're here to tell me these things. And guess where it's going to put us? Right back with Ugly there. Ah! Run away! Run away! Get good. The first time I did this, well, back when it was released, I could not get past these things because it was a lot darker. I don't know if it was the computer I was using at the time or what. But it was so dark that... Oh, just made that one. Ooh, into the anti-gravity. Sweet. 0G. But if I told you how many times I missed those jumps... Ugh. I was never very good at Mario Brothers.
Must not like anti-gravity.
I'm thrilled. So now I need to find my way through this, well, this maze of corridors, which is definitely not what I expect out of a Herc.
Try to head up when you can.
It stops chasing you at first jump.
Garrick and I
Sensible.
have a breathable atmosphere here. Everyone, try and reach our location.
Williams here. I'm stuck in some kind of tunnel maze. Not sure how to get out.
Ishimura here.
What's this
Receiving your
do?
transmission from
My
the
nav
console.
system's useless.
Analyzing now.
I'll keep trying to find you all.
A lot of historical data and cultural references in there. The short version, the Herc used to be a peaceful species. There's talk of a great betrayal, some kind of epidemic. Then the entries just turn into gibberish.
Well, they deteriorated pretty quickly then. Then again, their life cycle is over, what, a couple thousand years? Yeah, we're not getting through here. Let's go back. Well, we know it's that way. Up, we have another console.
This one looks like technical data. Interesting. None of their starships had weapons until 2,000 years ago. Their first designs were way ahead of most species at that time, though. Huh. How did they go from geniuses to the ravenous eating machines we're dealing with now?
I can make a couple educated guesses based on the stuff we found out on that space station a while back. Oops. Looks like somebody just got it.
Kane, report. I just lost crewman Kane's vitals. Weir's comm signal is down, but he's still alive. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, I'm not horribly optimistic there. Oh, something's opening. Ah, faster, faster, faster. Oh, made it. Also tested if you could kill it instead of running. It's invulnerable in the first encounter. Yeah, I tried fighting it that first time too before Kira said, "Hey, wouldn't it be a smart idea to run?" That said, I never tried fighting it afterwards, so I was more concerned with, well, we'll see momentarily. Okay, let's see. Well, I seem to have hit either a dead end or another way up. Hopefully I'm not retracing my steps. Ooh, another console. Oh, door's opening somewhere. This is... Ow! Okay, don't get near sparking thing. You can hurt it in the other non-final encounters, but it runs if you drop his health to 50%. Oh, that answers that detail. But I see it, I'm not going to bother trying to chop it up if it won't go down. But then again, of course, it can't go down, because otherwise we wouldn't have a final climactic encounter. Oh good, we're near the end of the line. Oh, and gravity's back.
We're picking up some interesting tech on sensors. Interesting and old. Very old. Most of it predates the Federation by several centuries. Are you reading those energy patterns on the other side of that opening? They're far more intricate than the others we've seen. We think there's some kind of ship ahead of you. It shows signs of damage. You might be in some sort of dry dock or repair facility. Interesting. There are large gaps in tech level between each section of the facility. It's as if the Herc learn as they hibernate. They wake up with 1,000 years of advancements at hand and get ready to work.
Oh, that would be an interesting method of developing the species. My Dimidar guy has a predator set up. His reaction was like, "Hello, prey." Yep, I can see that completely. Yeah, this mission is very... This one... The only mission that matches it in being kind of the feeling is the classic What Lies Beneath, way back in the Davidian arc. A personal favorite of mine. Bonnie Kid. Bonnie Kid. Dressed all in red. Bonnie Kid. Bonnie Kid. Soon you'll be dead. It's amazing how these little things stick with you. Well, it's certainly a very distinctly different level of construction. And look, it's snow! Welcome back to the crew. Well, back with me at any rate. And it looks like Garrick and Bashir are here, and notice that they get to take their helmets off. Smug. Able to take... I try to take my helmet off, I take off the entire set of armor, spacesuit, what have you.
A pleasure
I'm jealous.
See you. We'll need all the help we can get if we're to leave this world alive. To that end,
The origin of Gyne is that he's a villain from a hollow level that got reused for stupid
in
things.
some sort of Herc command center.
This would not surprise me.
We can begin to restore power in critical systems.
Awesome. So, when can you get communications with everybody else working?
Herc technology is driven by electromagnetic manipulation of morphogenic crystals. Doors, life support, everything, even their central computer. If we can find the right crystals, I can bring things back online. We can look for information on Herc biology within their data system. We might even find a cure here. I found a little information. This planet used to be rich in a type of fungus. It thrived in the harshest of environments, even areas
It feels
high
like
in
the
pulsar
previous
radiation. It used to be a staple
speaking
of the Herc
area
diet
and this
until it
speaking area is
disappeared from the
backwards.
ecosystem. Without it, the Herc began to suffer from a severe type of malnutrition. It led to a number of neurological disorders, many of which we've seen firsthand. Based on these readings, there should be more data storage units in the tunnels beyond this chamber. They're the ones by the door with the blue glow rods. One more thing. Some parts of the tunnel still have malfunctioning gravity systems.
Yeah, we do know
You should
he's
be
a
able to
hologram.
navigate through them, but the energy fields in there will nullify your weapons.
He's
so
like a mirror Terran.
be
But he's a
careful.
hologram. Okay, we need to find 3 storage crystals and the rest of my crew. Unfortunately, the rest of my crew is going to basically be coming back here, so it's still a solo adventure for me here. And we still have absolutely no map, so it's going to be basically go off of memory. So why don't we do the classic methodology of turning left whenever I can. And go straight otherwise. Surely this cannot possibly... Oh, it's Varora Talon! It's good to find my Zemhadar warrior here and ready to join the action. And one of the crew members. Awesome.
You're a sight for sore eyes. Let's get out of here.
Uh-oh.
William,
Well, you know, when you're not a main character, bad things happen. Hit him a few times, but, you know, this is futile conquest here, so we're going to back up into here, where we're going to discover...
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Yeah, these guys don't like zero-G environments. So that's a good way to stay away. Of course, now that I'm here, why don't I take advantage of that zero-G environment and go up? Try to go up and see what's in this chamber. And we've got a little hallway. Jeffrey's tubes. Yeah, they are the classic red shirts here. They exist only to be horribly mauled and killed. Oh, speaking of mauled and killed, and it looks like there's some... That's probably one of the data crystals I need, and unfortunately, Ugly is there. But that's okay, because if I can't get him, he can't get me. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's any way to get to that location right now, so we are going to have to drop back down. And, oh, what's this? I didn't even see this before. Ah, storage crystal.
The Herc tried to synthesize the enzyme they needed for cognition, but failed.
Rough break that. I seem to have lost track as to which one. I'm pretty sure I came to the other one because I don't recall seeing this debris.
One of
here.
your officers has arrived here.
That said, I could be completely wrong. Different upcraft. Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of them here, and we will be seeing them again. Like right now. And look, it's Varsal! Good to see you, Varsal. Let's give you a little bit of first aid here. Thing ambushed him and where? Well, speaking of ambushed. Yeah. Come get some.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
Oh, I'm sure he's already on his way. Okay, we have a hallway here. And 2 ways to go here. Decisions. Oh! And I think we found a storage crystal. Excellent.
My god. The enzyme the Herc need is
Ah!
a precursor to Ketracel.
And, oh, guess who we found? Okay, that's not good. Okay, I'll come back here in a minute. First things first. Oops, not that way.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Oh, good. Let's hope it stays that way. Meanwhile, let's check the body here. That was a little too close. Game over, man. Is there anything that way? Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't do anything, but it's interesting. I am completely turning myself around here. Let's get back down. There's a question that was never addressed. How many skeletons did I just step on? The answer is simple. All of them. I stepped on all of them. Whose corpses were those? Well, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if they were other Herc. If they went into pure savagery, it's very likely. Well, then again, I'm not entirely sure how many of them have skeletons in the traditional means. I mean, they are kind of insectoid. Okay, is this one I've already been in? Yes, it is, because it's got the doohickey there that I've
One of your officers
already
has
tapped.
arrived here.
Herc aren't humanoids. That is indeed true. Then again, the Dominion were known to have been fiddling around. It's perfectly possible that some of their...
That's Kane's helmet. I have a feeling we won't find the rest of him.
Ew. And of course, you know, who knows what kind of spacefaring species were around thousands and thousands of years ago. Hey, there's Shayla. It's quite likely that some of them may have stumbled on this planet and never went home. Oh, and look, it's another crewman. That can't be good.
Oh, good. You made it. We were about to leave when... No! No!
What's going on? Ishimura's vitals just flatlined.
Yeah, good reason for that. Yeah. Let's hop into anti-grav and encourage that thing to go away.
It moved away from you and shrouded itself.
Send your officer to me so that I can address any injuries.
That covers the first peaceful meeting between the Herc and the Founders over 3,000 years ago.
Okay, well maybe it was peaceful, maybe it wasn't Dominion related. Oh, what's this? Oh, wouldn't you know it? I can activate. Oh, that's right.
One of your officers has arrived here.
Well, activate the anti-gravity here. That would allow me to work my way through this set of rocks to the other side. Catchy. Unfortunately, now comes the real trick. Finding my way back to the main chamber. Since I completely screwed up my entire approach of dealing with the maze, I'm going to have to wing it. I might be on the right track. Let's see, do I make a left here? Wait, no, I keep going. I think I went that way for something else. Is that it? Or I go that way? Let me check in here first. Nope. Let's hang that left here after all. Ah, made it. And all my people made it here alive. That's a win.
Nicely done. We should be able to translate Herc data files and run a detailed analysis of them at a greatly accelerated rate now. I have a good friend in Starfleet engineering that would love to spend some time with this technology. The Herc have made some remarkable advances in their time.
Yeah, it sure would have been nice if they'd managed to pull off getting Miles O'Brien in here too. Ah well.
Ah, the first results are in. Excellent. I have access to a few critical systems, including gravity and power generation. Bringing them online now. That should make things go a little smoother. I'm getting some historical records now. Give me a moment to process it. Well, this is not good. It's a record of the fall of the Herc civilization at the hands of the Dominion. For some reason, The Dominion removed the fungus from the ecosystem during the Herc hibernation cycle. Military conquest, most likely. This is what drove the Herc to madness.
Yeah, who would have thought that Dominion would be responsible for all this? Oh wait, just about everybody.
It appears we have some
Okay.
uninvited guests.
You're a
Who'd
long way from Zenketh, Admiral.
Yeah.
Yes. To what do we owe the pleasure?
Oh, that just figures, doesn't it?
Ah, traveling incognito.
One of her many.
I wonder how long
covert
she's been
identities, I
masquerading as
suspect.
the
This
Captain
expedition of
Admiral.
yours has gone on long enough.
Touched a nerve, have we?
You found a secret I've kept for millennia. Something I've kept from Odo and the Great Link.
The origin of the Herc infestation.
And you're rolling it.
I needed soldiers to realize my dream of dominion. Enforcers willing to obey without question. Physically, the Herc were perfect candidates. But their peaceful, free-thinking nature was an obstacle. In studying
Oh,
the
they
Herc
screwed that up,
biology,
didn't they?
I found the key to their loyalty.
The Ketracel precursor.
Yes, I extracted it from their ecosystem. They had no choice. Obey or die.
I take it things didn't go according to plan.
Master of Understatement.
No, they became savage, incoherent, volatile. With each cycle, the swarm grew larger, wilder. My ability to control them diminished. All I could do was point them in the direction of my enemies. I would let them rampage and await their eventual hibernation.
Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war.
They were a failure, but they provided a gift. Ketracel, the gift that led to a more successful endeavor. The Gem Hadar.
Oh,
I think I've heard
someone just
enough.
got busted.
I knew you were involved in this somehow. You built an empire on slavery, and now it's all falling apart. When the Alliance learns about this,
But they won't. None of you are leaving this world alive.
you would kill
I've heard
another
that
founder.
before.
There were other founders who knew the truth once, like you. They did not want a dominion built on the backs of slaves. They tried to depose me, to expose the truth to the Link. They failed, and paid for their lack of vision.
All of you against the wall.
Oh, that is so
oh
not
no,
happening.
this is getting out of hand.
Stop this now.
No, Odo. This is bigger than you. Bigger than us. The Dominion must endure.
I'm afraid
I'm beginning
I
to
can't
regret
allow
letting her out of that prison
But now,
facility.
You've forced my hand.
Uh-oh. I think
This
Garrett just did
is
it
a
again.
modification of your own Herc lure. As we speak, every Herc in the Quadrant is homing in on the signal.
Not
and
helping.
you're calling them here? To their homeworld?
On the contrary, madam, I'm calling them to the Founder homeworld.
Oh!
Your chickens, as the humans say, are coming home to roost.
Insanity! We will...
Oh, speaking of trouble. Oh, look, the look on his face is so priceless. Seeing the smug look wiped from Wayon's face almost makes what's coming worth it. Unfortunately, we have problems. Now, I'd like to note that I'm using the knives that Lek used, but unlike Lek, I'm not getting instant kills here. I think I'm a little resentful. Now, one of the things I kind of find curious, well, I guess I'll remark on that in a moment when we get to the next cutscene, because can't rule out any possibilities quite yet. Cursed stealth. Let's go melee. Melee fighting isn't something I really do a whole lot. There are combos that can be done with the melee fighting. I will be the first to admit that I'm Not very good with it. But I do okay. Case in point. Once the alert is gone, I believe we have...
Our cue. Now that we have restored operations here, our ships will be able to lock onto us with transporters. I suggest we take advantage of this while we can.
I like that idea.
You did this? All of you? You killed a god? My god? My beautiful founder.
Now that's where I'm kind of iffy on. Physical assault, as a general rule,
Pay the price.
doesn't really do too much to a founder.
Enough, Wayoon.
But
All
somehow,
of you stand
the
down.
Herc managed to
No!
pull it off.
You betrayed her, and the Dominion. I will carry out her final order.
That founder is no more, Wayoon. This founder has given you an order, and you will obey.
No! He is no founder. She was a founder. He is a traitor. Guards!
You can almost see the
Shoot to
gears
kill.
slipping in his brain.
All of them!
Belay that order.
What?
We do not serve you, Vorta. Where this founder leads, we will follow.
Thank you, my friend. Fine. Then I'll do it myself.
The trick of being invisible until ready to attack
Take
helps a
Wayoon
lot.
into custody and return to your ship.
Yeah, it
We have
does.
business at the home world to attend to.
But still don't quite figure out how it managed to basically turn the founder into immobile sludge. I'm sure there's something written somewhere that goes into detail, but I've not come across it. Besides, it's the result that matters here. And the result is that the founder is now a pile of sludge.
Tell me, was it part
Bad
of your
things
plan
happen
to
to
draw
bad-
every Herc in the
Oh,
sector to
boy.
the system, Garrick? Because if it was, it worked with flying colors. We need to get out of here and fast. Our only hope is to punch a hole through the swarm so we can go to warp.
Garrick, you said they were going to the founder homeworld, not this one. You lied! They did mention there's a specific form of energy that makes them disintegrate. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, the thing did let out one of its sonic cry things. I suppose it could qualify, but I don't know. In the meantime, we are being given the get out message by the Herc here, so by all means, let's see what we can do. Unfortunately, we really don't have a good indicator as to how much of these we have to blow up. So basically, it's going to be fight until it lets us go. And hope that nothing horrible happens to us in the interim. Because honestly, my preference would be to go to cloak and run. There's some weird energy wave that didn't work on human blades. Of course, then again, it's not too incredulous to imagine that the Herc would have found some way to cause harm to the people who basically drove them mad. It's possible. Ow. I keep hitting the wrong side of this assembly here. I gotta go back end here so I can start hitting the non-invulnerable sides. And meanwhile, all these swarmers are on me. Well, you know, we were having a distinct lack of space combat in this mission so far, so it's only right that we finally have one here. Ah. I hate that these guys are maneuverable enough to keep putting their shielded side to me. I keep getting those immunes because I keep hitting the wrong side. Okay. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Let's get some reinforcements here. Yes, I know it's something that give a humanoid radiation sickness, but not seriously injured quickly, and here was a shockwave that would only do modest damage to humanoids. Well, it's gotta be some kind of alien tech involved then, because, you know, it's kind of hard to buy that natural ability the Herc is just coincidentally extremely harmful to founders. Seems iffy. On the other hand, given how much of a pain in the rear end that the founder was, I can't really bring myself to be too sorry. Okay, well this group of Swarm is gone. Unfortunately, there's still more out there, and apparently I need to shoot them too. Including another assembly. Grrr. Go away, assembly. Ah. Okay, you know what? Let's do some of those swarmers. Get to the point where I can have some of my allies help me beat on this assembly. Sure would be nice to know which one of these guys were the key to our escape. One of my enemies killed another of my enemies. Yeah, you're probably going to kill both of them if they didn't kill each other. That's probably true. I mean, we'd have had to kill the Hurt. We'd have to take out the Hurt anyway. Because it was maddened enough that talking with it was just not going to help. Of course, thanks to previous encounters, we've got a pretty good idea of how we could chat with them. Unfortunately, well, actually, I do have plenty of Ketracel White to work with. Oh, come on, blow up, blow up. And we still need to go after more. Okay, let's see. Oh, a hive.
They're breaking off.
Oh, thank heavens. I was trying to figure out what else do I need to go after.
They're heading for the Founder homeworld.
Yeah, that is our cue to get out. So let's incur. Oh, good. They've all worked out. That makes it even easier.
I think we're in the clear. The Herc have departed for the Founder homeworld. It will take them some time to reach it, even at maximum warp. We should make the most of that time and bring an end to this madness. The information that the good doctor found should do just that. For now, let's return to our respective fleets and prepare for the next and hopefully final steps of this journey.
Thanks to Garrick, my homeworld is under siege.
Yeah,
I
he's a little bitter.
realize there's not a lot of love lost to the Founders these days. But if the center of the Dominion falls to the Herc, the rest of the galaxy will soon follow suit. If you're willing to stand with us one last time, assemble your forces and rendezvous with my fleet in the Gamma Quadrant. I hope to see you there before it's too late for all of us.
An argument could be made about letting them just stew in their own juices here. But the fact is, this mess was effectively caused by a single founder. To be continued. And the reason we have that to be continued is because that was where the arc ended when they initially released the Victory is Life expansion. The finale was released a few months later, I think. I can't recall the exact timing. But that was why we have the Gamma Quadrant battle zone in place, because the battle zone effectively is dealing with the assault on the Founder homeworld from a macro point of view. But as we will soon see, we are going to be going to the more
poetic symmetry
fine-tuned point of view.
The Dominion are about to receive their comeuppance from one of the many species they've abused. Regrettably, we Cardassians have some experience in such matters. Of course, our work is just beginning. We need to formulate a cure for the Hurk before they devastate every system in the Quadrant. Hopefully, we can achieve this lofty goal before they make a meal of the Dominion. And again, science is often a lengthy, perilous process.
Yeah, he's trolling there.
Certainly glad
That's Derek
to put
right
Havas
there.
Cool behind me. Small, dark passages are not a passion of mine.
Alright, let's pick up our usual trifecta plus Ketracel, and we're going to grab the flare.
Congratulations, Admiral.
Now, one may ask, what do you do with the flare? And to do that, we're going to do something a little interesting. We're going to go to the Starship Bridge here. I'm also going to take off my spacesuit. Let's get back into the normal gear, shall we? Let's see. No, had that one. Shayla had that one. No, Shayla had the other one. Oops. Trying to keep track. And Varsal had the last one. There we go. Now, to demonstrate the awesome power of the flare, I'm going to replace my Borg device, which I'm not likely to use unless I earn more Borg. Let the cooldown finish up. $15 more seconds. Really, the cooldown timer on some of these devices. Ugh. Could be worse. Observe the awesome power of the flare. There we go. Is it not entertaining? Such a powerful device to emit light. Hey, would have come in handy in some of those darker places. Where was this when I needed it during the What Lies Beneath mission? Okay, that was entertaining. We're going to put the flare away now. We will leave the interior and prepare ourselves. You can use the flare in Q's Wonderland to distract snowmen. Really? Really, will they go after the flare? Of course, why would they want to go after the flare? Wouldn't they be worried about it melting them? They actually attack the flare. Nice, I'll have to remember that. That could come in handy. For now, however, it is time for the grand finale of the Gamma Quadrant arc. Home.
Empersa, the homeworld of the Founders, is under attack by the Hurk. This is our darkest hour. If Empersa falls, the Dominion will come to an end. I'm asking you to join in the defense efforts as soon as you can. A task force will assemble at my fleet's location in the Gamma Quadrant and warp to Empersa from there. Remember, if we fall, the Alpha Quadrant is next. It's time to make a stand. I hope you'll join in the fight.
So, once again, we have the trifecta of rewards, experience points, expertise, dilithium. We will get a new emote unlock, Heal Rock. Okay. And one of a number of intriguing possibilities. As you can see, these are part of their own set, the morphogenic armaments. So you'd have to do this mission multiple times to get all the equipment and all the good stuff. Or a phased waveform beacon, which will signal for Herc forces to reinforce your current position and assist you in combat. Hey, what do you know? It's another reinforcement item. I'm thinking I'm going to go with that. Or a science flow capacitor.
If you'll excuse me.
And conveniently, we're practically right where we need to be, so I'm not even going to bother doing the transport thing. I'm just going to activate my engines and begin home. It's showtime.
Previously on Star Trek Online,
I did say it was a few months between the last episode and this one, right?
Without your help, the Herc will win the war of attrition.
What's happening?
So we get this nice cinematic recap of everything that happened up to now.
I found your mysterious widget. What is it exactly? It's not Karemic tech.
I found a similar device on Bejor.
These devices call the Herc, and we put them there. The other founders are hiding things from me.
Odo, look out!
Hold your fire. I think it's trying to communicate.
We can't hold off the Herc forever.
Alliance forces are spread too thin to help, Quark.
We need the Klingons, brother. Otherwise, we're doomed.
Sword of Kahless, as promised.
Once again, the House of Quark delivers. Martok will be pleased.
You found a secret I've kept for millennia.
The origin of the Herc infestation.
And you're rolling it.
The Dominion must
Can't help but notice that they replaced those.
I can't allow that.
Replaced my crew with generic Starfleet.
Every Herc in the Quadrant is homing in on the signal.
Okay. I realize I'm asking a lot out of a
I
cinematic.
arrived here ahead of you, and I've already engaged the Herc near the planet. You've made your point, Garrick. Deactivate the Herc lure device you placed on the home world before this gets out of hand.
You know, that would actually have been a smart idea to do right off the bat, Garrick.
I'm afraid that's the problem, Ambassador. I deactivated it several minutes ago.
Love this part. Yeah, this is a pretty well done mission.
Then why are the Hercs still attacking? Don't play games with me here, Garrick. I'm warning you.
Perhaps they're still attacking due to a deep hatred of your people. After all, the Founders are directly responsible for their state of mind, body, and soul. I can't say I blame them.
Yeah, stop poking each other.
Enough. Both of you. We don't have time for this. There's
They're
bigger
still attacking
problems
because
to
they
deal
want you
with
to
here
die.
and that swarm of Herc vessels nearby.
Yes, it's called priorities.
Agreed. My fleet is already engaged near the planet, but Herc reinforcements keep arriving. Try to punch through the swarms so we can join up.
All right, let's wade into the hips, shall we?
To this problem soon, Doctor.
You know what occurs to me? I didn't have my weapon power set properly during the last fight. No wonder it took so long.
Some might argue it's
Forward! Forward! Of course, I suppose by punching through the swarm, they probably mean wipe out the swarm. It'd be so much easier if I could just bum rush the planet. But why do things the easy way? I mean, why start now? Okay, we still seem to have something in this area. There, here we are. No, that's not them. Oh, or I could pay attention to the cute arrow that's bouncing up and down in front of me. I'm only looking right at it. Of course I'd miss it. Let's give Odo a hand here. Never mind the fact that he's flying a dreadnought and I'm flying a raider.
Much longer. We need to deal with the swarm attacking it immediately.
The CSS Steadfast stands ready to assist you as well.
Well, we seem to have gotten some reinforcements. Above and beyond, you know, the reinforcements that I can call. Like right now. Because in a pitched battle, there is no such thing as having too many reinforcements. Unless, of course, the reinforcements are on the other side. Then it sucks. Shield. This one may be the last of the troublemakers. No, I spoke too soon. Oh, come on, Tab. Give me the nearest target. Okay, now we might be getting near the end of this particular battle, or at least this wave, I can be more specific. Yeah, that's what we're talking. Yep, there we go, another wave coming in. It hurts to be right. The good news is there's plenty of ships around here to help out now. Whoa, not good. Oh, my health just dropped like a rock there. That was a little too close. And you know what? We still have a problem. Okay, where's my rear shields. Yeah, had just a little too much aggro there. I really did think about using my battle cloak there, but I was concerned that they were too close and they would kill me off anyway without any shields at all. Sometimes those cloaking devices aren't nearly as helpful as one might like to think. In hindsight, maybe using my torpedo spreads, fire at will, may not have been the smartest moves I've ever made. Yeah, love being those guys with rear-firing torpedo spread. I do too. Unfortunately, the current build I've got now isn't using a rear torpedo.
We bought ourselves some time. Let's hope it's enough. Julian, is your plan ready? It may be our best hope to end things now.
It's as ready as possible, Captain. The challenge of frontier medicine.
You want to get in a line behind me? Yeah, thank you.
I've created a program that will enable the Herc to synthesize the compound they need to come to their senses.
I'm also fond
I've also
of
put
the
together a core sample of the compound for them to use.
the warp cloud or the plasma cloud or whatever they emit from your engines from one of the science abilities. That's always handy to deal with those swarms from the back too.
And the hard part? What do you need to make this happen?
There you go. Eject warp. Oh, it's engineer. Well, there's irony for you.
From what we've learned about the Herc, the
best way to make this happen will be to enter the data into one of their core computer systems.
I love doing that to those guys when they're swarming behind. Does dump the plasma on them.
Systems of that caliber
Does the job.
Herc dreadnoughts.
So, in other words, we gotta get on board one of their dreadnoughts, which are surrounded by swarmers and other equally entertaining
There's a Herc
ships.
dreadnought heading toward the planet as we speak. It's slow, so we should be able to intercept it. I recommend we engage that ship and disable it, if possible. We'll need to get a team on board to carry out Julian's plan.
Alright. Oh, one more thing. Nope, no anomalies. I figured I'd double check just on the outside chance that maybe, just maybe, there would be a harvestable here. Try to get that endeavor out of the way. But sometimes plan does not quite go as hoped. Okay, let's get rid of some of these swarmers now before they start overwhelming me again. Oh, and an assembly. You know what? It's time for more reinforcements. Bring the Delta boys in. And let's crank up our power levels a little bit. Just want to get rid of some of these swarmers so I don't have a zillion of them behind me when I start opening things up again. Okay, I think that might be as good as I'm going to get because it looks like the hive is, unsurprisingly, chugging out more swarmers. Ah, thank you, Hawkman. Glad you were able to stop by. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Or day, depending on what time zone you happen to be. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, the hive is definitely chucking out far more of those swarmers I'm particularly comfortable with, but on the bright side, it shouldn't be much longer before it's disabled. 25% is usually the magic number, but not always. And apparently, not always is now. 20%. Surely at 10% it'll be available. Surely at 10%. No, it's not going to make it easy there either. I'll give the Herc this. They do not want to go down. There we go, 5%. They finally are disabled. At least one Ravager being focused on by a zillion different... Oh, that's interesting.
We did it. The dreadnought's disabled. That ship is still crawling with Herc, though. Make sure your away teams are ready for a fight.
I'll send some of my best. Dukan Rex will lead a Jem'Hadar away team, while Loris will assist Dr. Bashir.
Right. Let's get the away teams on that dreadnought before it calls for backup.
Oh
Loris
yeah,
and I have
yeah.
all we need. We're ready to beam over when you are.
Then by all means, let's beam over. Back in standard equipment. Oops, almost standard equipment.
Computer core. Once we're there, I'll begin the override process that will allow us to transmit our data.
I forgot to swap out my weaponry
When
again.
that's done, we can instruct each ship in their fleet to replicate the cure and distribute it to every Herc on board. Of course, we need to reach the command center in one piece to do so.
Of course we do. Oh, I'm set. I've got my flamethrower. Just the kind of thing you need to deal with pesky bugs.
Enemy life signs ahead. Get ready to fight.
Well, why don't we open things up dramatically, shall we? Let's drop a nuke
Proceed
off.
with caution.
Yes, thank you. Don't talk to me when we're in the middle of a fight. Plasma flamethrower. Kills bugs dead. I have no idea what that is, but it looks dangerous. Come to think of it, that's probably what he was trying to warn me about. Whoops. Up, it's the Overseer. These guys are dangerous. Let's go with more long-range weapons on this guy. Okay, where's Varsal? Oh, he went close to the... Ooh, yeah, I sure hope I can revive him without him dying immediately again. This way, this way, this way. Good. Now, come around the long way. Make sure all my people are with me. Good. And we continue on. Swap back to the flamethrower because why not? Hi! Burn, baby, burn. Not out of fuel yet. I am not ashamed to admit that I love using the flamethrower. Ow, ow, ow. Focus fire on this guy here. Don't fiddle around with the little guys. Okay, now we can deal with the little guys. For those who are unfamiliar, the Overseers are capable of spawning their own reinforcements, which is bad. Oh, that's what those floating things are. They're fire extinguishers. Cool. Okay, now we have a problem here, because we need to take these guys out. But the Overseer is going to be cranking more of them out. So, you know, complications. Okay, now we can focus fire on them. Oh, nuts, there's another one over there, too. Okay, this gets complicated. Oops, and I'm getting killed. I better get out of here. Slap down a medical generator here. Varsal's already down, which is a bad sign. And so's most of my other crew. Well, this is inconvenient. No wonder, they decided to sit in the middle of a plasma fire. Guys, inappropriate location. I sure hope this works, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them out. I sure hope these other guys are doing a good job, because I still got too many people down. Okay, if I can get Varsal back up, we'll be at full strength again. And, oh good, other guys are beginning to do a good job on the Overseer. The Overseer is the scariest guy there, because he keeps spawning these attendants. Varsal, get over here! Everybody, over here, now! Don't stand in the plasma fire. Sheesh! So now that we have everybody together... Oops. More incoming. It's good to see that Varra Talon is using his Ketracel Light. I'm pretty sure he needs the Ketracel to actually make use of his cloaking ability. The Shroud. Okay, everybody, get over here, now. Okay, we got everybody. How about that? Although it looks like some of our other folk are kind of sitting all the way back there. Well, you know, prioritize. Let's see. Is that another Overseer over here? Yes, it is. Well, far be it from me to not drop a nuke on them. And everybody go after him. Dogpile on him. He's the most dangerous guy in the room. Let's pop out the combat buffs. Do some fabrication. Maybe include medical generators since I'm taking a beating. Oh, for pity's sake, that overseer's still standing. Oh, good. Oh, hi, Loris. I see you're being incredibly useful by cowering in the corner. Alright, regroup. Where's the Fallen? Very good. We have some hostiles down this way. While it doesn't seem to be the direction we want to go in, I think we want to take them out anyway, because I'd rather deal with them now than later. Good news is I don't see... Oh, what's that? It looks like something I can use. We'll interact with that momentarily. Use console. Why don't we? Let's see what it does.
I have unpleasant news, I'm afraid. Herc security systems have sent an automated distress signal throughout the fleet. I recommend haste. We're going to have a great number of hostile guests, and far sooner than we'd like.
You know, I probably could have lived without getting that kind of bad news. Now I'm sorry I went in there. Blissful ignorance would have been happier. Just making sure I have everybody I want behind me. And whoa! Yeah, this looks like a command center, doesn't it? Alien command center. And look, it's another overseer. Kill it fast. And this is a room where things start getting complicated very quickly because... Oh, and there's another overseer over there. Great. More to look forward to. But on the bright side, this overseer looks like he's almost done. If I can just, you know, hit him with something. Okay, great. Good news, that overseer is down. Bad news, almost every one of my allies are down. Of course, we have an overseer over there, which probably is contributing to the fact that we're having our butts kicked. Oh, wouldn't you know it? Where's my medical supplies? And let's see. Let's start making use of some of my abilities here. Don't I have Yes. I thought one of the nice abilities I have on one of my devices is a revive everybody button. Okay, everybody, focus fire on that particular Okay, focus fire is not going to happen. Superior numbers finally got to me. Still need to take out that overseer though, so everybody focus fire on him. Yeah, I burned out pretty much through the entire fuel of the flamethrower, but I felt it was necessary. Okay, overseer is down, and now things should be a little bit easier because we're not dealing with unlimited numbers of Herc. Yikes. Okay, now one of the tricky things about this particular map is that in previous attempts on this, when I've done it with other characters, sometimes people would get stuck in these ramps. Hopefully they fixed the pathing.
Excellent work. It's time for Loris and I to finish this. Keep your weapons handy, however. We're breaking into a secure computer system here. The Herc are bound to take offense. Keep them busy while we do our work, or this will be a wasted trip.
Now, there is a bright spot to this, however, and you'll have to be paying attention, but listening to Dr. Bashir and Loris during this entire encounter is going to be all kinds of interesting. More on that momentarily. If we're lucky, everything that attacks us will be less than Overseer level. Cook. How do I do
one
this?
goes here, that one goes there.
And so it begins.
I was saving time by inverting the feed now instead of later.
I adore this flamethrower. I'm glad I spent the dilithium and marks on it because it's just so fun. That said, it doesn't really seem to be doing anything to this guy, does it?
Doctor, I thought you were supposed to be Starfleet's best and brightest.
I wouldn't even be in Starfleet anymore if it weren't for this Herc nonsense.
Some people deal with pressure well. Loris is not one of them. You can see the progress bar over here.
Running out of time, Doctor.
Perhaps you know a faster way to translate Herc language and reverse engineer their technology.
Dr. Bashir throwing shade. Ouch. You know, I'm pretty sure I don't want to be near that pit area. I feel like that would be a horrible place to end up. Looks like we're almost 75% complete. The clock continues to tick. Oh, he moved pretty quick, didn't he? I don't want to rush you two, but things aren't getting any better in here. So kindly work faster. I'm sure that Dr. Bashir and Loris would really appreciate me adding more pressure. Okay, they're done. So we just have to wipe out all the rest of the Herc that are in here. We won't get any more spawning in. At least not for this particular leg. That doesn't mean we're not going to see more coming in momentarily. Alright. Doctor, give me good news.
Almost ready here. The system needs the physical samples of the cure for final analysis and processing. Shall I proceed?
Oh, yes. Get it done. Well, look who's still here.
Are you insane, Weyoun? That was our last hope.
How is this possible? You were in prison.
I was liberated by those who still serve the true founders. Not everyone is a traitor to the Dominion, after all.
There is only one traitor here, Weyoun. It's time you paid the price for your treachery.
Pathetic. You can't even kill someone properly. Allow me to instruct you. You! Jem'Hadar! Make yourself useful. Kill them.
Yeah. That's not gonna happen.
Give you an order! Open fire! Kill them, now!
I think not.
As he fulfills Jem'Hadar fantasies everywhere.
He's gone.
And not a moment too soon.
Well,
Bashir to command.
Vorta tend to be cloned a lot, so we may yet see Weyoun again someday. But now we have a problem. The cure thing has been busted there, and we're beaming up, and I feel like there should be some dialogue here. We'll just have to assume that Bashir and Loris are going to try to salvage something out of all this.
That Herc fleet is about to attack our position. We need to give the doctor the time he needs to transmit data on the cure.
Because as it stands right now, it's like, hate to break it to you, but it might take you a little longer than you want to think about to transmit the data because it's not happening. So, 2 minutes to survive the attack. Surely we can handle 2 minutes. In fact, let's bring some Nimbus pirates here to help. Because if there's one thing I believe in, it's overkill. And I'm going to try to pick on this hive in the hopes that maybe we can keep it from sucking out too many problems in us. Unfortunately, that immune shield that they have that keep flipping around. I'm beginning to think that it's not something that's confined to a direction, but something that they set every so often. Speaking of shields, maybe I should have some. 49 seconds. I feel like it's me against the hive. Let's try to get some more shields rolling here. Not doing a very good job on taking this guy down. Let's pick on some of the other guys. Because I'm relatively sure what I want to see here is kill the remaining Herc. Oh, how about that? We're actually going to have a cutscene instead.
Well, you're in quite a fix there, Odo.
Brilliant observation, Quark. What do you want?
Forgive my brother, Odo. We're here to help.
The Ferengi cavalry? I thought I'd seen everything.
Oh, the best is yet to come, Odo. Say hello to my dangerous friends.
Well, Quark, we're waiting.
His sense of timing needs work.
Where are they?
Lose something? Like your nerve, perhaps?
Long ago, Takuvma, the Unforgettable, lit the beacon of Kahless to restore glory to the Empire. Today, a new torchbearer, Worf, son of Moog, does the same. United,
I'd have loved to have seen that conversation.
We now go to fight the enemy of our ancestors. Today, we will fight the Herc. I now hold the weapon they fear most. The Sword of Kahless has been returned to us. Join me now in honorable combat, show the Herc what it truly means to be Klingon. For Kalis, for the Empire, Kapla!
Nobody, but nobody, gives as good pre-battle speech as a Klingon. Nobody. So, now we have another 2 minutes to try to survive a fight. But there are lots more ships here. Let's make even more. Come, my Romulan and friends. Reinforce our position before we have a horrible death come to us. Now, if I wanted to really be cheesy, I would just sit back, go under cloak, and do nothing for the next 2 minutes. But what would the fun be in that? Oh, if you want to have a major space battle, be in the major space battle. Shields, shields, shields. Prepare. One thing that Star Trek Online does pretty well is major space battles. I mean, it may not be in the same category as, say, I don't know, EVE Online with their 1,000 ship battles and all that. But for a standard RPG, it does pretty good. Okay, now we're going to use the cloak because I got too many of the swarmers on my hind end. I don't want to get wiped out again like I did the last time. Yeah, there we go. Defeat remaining Herc in the area. And unfortunately, there's a fair amount of Herc in the area, including a hive, a couple assemblies. But on the bright side, we're almost time for more reinforcements. So we've got that going for us. Delta reinforcements, come on in. Okay, a bunch of swarmers down here. We can take them. Gotta clean out some of the small fry, so we can start going after the big boy. Okay, things are going well. Things are going well. 40% down on this guy. Getting flanking damage on him, which is good. Oh, I'm getting ready to fire on his immune side again. But he's about to go. A blue quality drop. That's not something I see very often. And it looks like the fleet is down.
The arrival of the Klingons has given us more time in space, but the situation on the surface is dire. Herc's forces are breaking the Jem'Hadar defense lines. We need to do what we can to help. I'm beaming directly to the Great Link to aid my people.
That sounds like a plan.
The time has come. The Herc mean to ravage everything in their path. We will not allow it. We will stand against them, as Kalis once stood, defiant and proud. Fight well, and if need be, die well. Kapla!
Gotta love his enthusiasm. Okay, well, looks like we're going to be assisting the folks on the ground. Let's beam down, for the final battle.
Whom do we seek? Careless! How do we find him? Together! Careless, give us light to see forever! Will he hide from us always? Never!
Oh, you gotta admit, it's a little more inspiring than the whole "we are
Most
dead."
of the Jem'Hadar lines have been broken. Even the Great Link is in danger. I'm going to coordinate our defenses at the link. Meet me there.
We'll meet you there as soon as we can. And Odo, be careful.
The Jem'Hadar have come to our aid. Now, we will return the favor.
Well, let's try to do it right here. Meanwhile, let's swap back to my favorite flame-throwing weapon. I'll pop up my secret drone now, so I don't have to waste time with it later. And we'll pop out some of my turrets now, too. Just in case some of these guys try to get behind us. And then... why is my weapon not... there we go. Seem to be having a little hard time affecting the Guardians with this thing. Might as well swap weapons. Looks like these heavier guys, the Guardians, are a little more resistant to plasma fires. That's okay. I have other weapons. Oh, and we can have a chat with some of the Jem'Hadar soldiers.
You fight well. Good. There are many hurt between us and the Great Lake. We go there now to reclaim our lives. We are already dead.
See what I mean? I prefer the Klingon outlook to the Jem'Hadar outlook. One of these are more pessimistic than the other. Now granted, the Jem'Hadar can usually back it up in reclaiming their lives, but still, I prefer the attitude of, I prefer the attitude of the Klingons. I mean, say what you want, but they're enthusiastic. The good news is, so far, I'm not seeing any overseers. Hopefully they're all busy on those bigger ships. Not that, you know, they're not dangerous as it is, but... yeah, see? The Guardians may have a hard time going to flamethrowers.
Out in the open like this.
Open to suggestions, Captain.
Odo to Kira. We're fortifying our position near the Great Link.
Understood.
Oh,
we're on our way.
Guardian here. I gotta pay more attention to my targets. Oh, there's a Vorta commander somewhere around here. Of course, most of the Vorta I run into tend to be obnoxious schmucks, so I don't know if I want to be helping them that badly, but...
I must confess my surprise at seeing you here, on this, the homeworld of the gods. Truly, we are living in strange times. You'll forgive my boldness, but there are still founders under attack nearby. Can I count on you to aid them and destroy the wretched creatures who would do them harm?
Yes. Boy, that was an awful lot of roundabout way of saying, please help us. I mean, tick tock, tick tock. And now we have a number of founders who could probably use our help. And we've already seen that some of these Herc can and will be able to kill off the founders, so... Of course, that said, the founders aren't exactly weak either.
I think we're too late. This changeling's losing morphogenic matrix ability. There are more friendly life signs nearby. We should do what we can for them.
Well, speaking of potentially having dead founders, more down this way. Can't miss them. And it looks like another founder doing their thing. Luckily, we do seem to have a number of people fighting in addition to just us, so... Usually you see these big battles in space, but you can't really underestimate the impact that a running ground battle can have.
I don't know some, but I think your service.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat here. Being killed off by huge amounts of bugs is bad for everybody. Oh, things are exploding over here. Let's go deal with what's over here. Oh, well, there's another founder.
Is this some sort of solid invasion?
And then we have the other kind. I tell you, some founders are just ingrates. I mean, it's the old all solids look alike to me kind of thing. Oh well, I just keep telling myself, it's for the good of the Republic. The fact that it's helping out the founders is just a coincidence. Oh, Shayla's down. Don't want to leave her behind here. We're moving around too much for me to allow my crew members to just stay put. Now see, I like that. A little bit of gratitude. Whoa. Yeah, that's a problem. When you put down one of those, one of these devices, sometimes it'll spawn in interesting things like Davidians. And there it is. That's not the ocean. That's the Great Lake. All of that are founders.
You made it. Good. We're going to need all the help we can get here. It looks like the Herc are focusing their attacks on the link. I've called for reinforcements, but most of our lines have been overrun. We're going to make a stand here and hope the Doctor's plan is successful. If not, if we fail, this may be the day the Dominion dies.
Not to mention, you know, all of us. Hold your ground. That kind of says it all, doesn't it? So we're going to slap down every fortification I've got to play with.
The call's been sent, but they may not arrive in time.
We'll do what we can with what we have then.
Okay, now that I've pretty much put down every fortification I've got.
I'm not sure I like the way you said that, Odo.
It does kind of have that last stand feel.
No, now is not the time for this discussion.
I agree. Get a room.
Look around. There may not be a better time.
You're right. And I understand what you did.
You do? Then you know how sorry I am.
Get a room, you two.
Yes.
I know. I feel the same.
I tell you, rekindling their romance in the middle of the battlefield, in the middle of the battle, this is not something I recommend. So far, position is more or less holding. There are certainly a lot of these guys. And I'm not going to say there seems to be no end to them, but there seems to be no end to them. But the good news is the bridge crew is still standing. We're all at pretty good health. Oh, good. Odo's actually getting involved. I wasn't sure if he was. It does kind of give the impression of Last Stand, doesn't it? I mean, we've got a whole bunch of the perk coming. We have no indication that this is going to get any better. The bad guys just coming in overwhelming waves. But we seem to have triggered a threshold here. Ow.
Nerys, are you hurt?
It's just a scratch. I'm fine. We're losing ground here, Odo. Keep fighting.
We can't hold this position much longer.
Oh yeah, I see things on the Dreadnought are going well.
We're about to die, Doctor. Are you ready?
Not without the Ketracel components needed for the cure.
Ketracel. Yes.
Well, it looks like somebody has figured out the best way of dealing with the situation.
Victory.
Wait! Stop!
Is life.
And that is Jem'Hadar right there. Meanwhile, back on the ground. Did it just get quiet? He's big. Just a comparison size there. It seems the war is over.
It seems the battle is over, but how? What happened up there, Doctor?
I believe Dukan Rex realized that his own body contained the Ketracel material I needed to finalize the cure. He extracted what we needed at the cost of his life. Once the Herc were able to synthesize the cure, they came to their senses and called for an immediate ceasefire. Their forces are withdrawing as we speak. It's over. I won't say we've won, but it's...
Now, I don't want to say anything, but if Ketracel was really what they needed, I've got like 50 vials worth here that they could have used. Just saying. We've received orders from Alliance Command. We're to report to DS9 as soon as possible for debriefing. Dr. Bashir?
There was nothing I could do for him on the Herc Dreadnought. The Ketracel extraction process was too devastating. Odo, you treated him like a son when we first found him on DS9, and I'm truly sorry.
He didn't even have a name when he left us. I'll make sure the name he found is never forgotten. I remember his first days on the station. All he wanted to do was fight. Didn't matter who. When he left, I thought I'd never see him again. Or if I did, it'd be as enemies. The man I met years later still knew how to fight, but his reasons for doing so had changed dramatically. I'm proud to have known him. I wish I could have done more in the end. I suppose you're right. I believe Captain Kira was looking for you. She was at the Temple of the Prophets last I checked. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to pay my respects. We'll talk more later.
All right. Let's locate the Quadrant Temple, which is conveniently right next door. And oh, we have a number of people to chat with here. Let's start with the captain.
And here we are, once again. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
You could say that. What do you plan to do next?
Funny you should mention that. After we got back, Starfleet Command offered me a number of postings, even the center chair on one of those shiny new cruisers. Tempting. But I chose to join the command staff here on DS9. Bajor and the Celestial Temple mean a lot to me, and this station is a good place to keep them both safe.
Yeah, I'm sure the location's convenient too.
Subtle, but you're not wrong. Odo and I have a lot to work out before we're back to where we were, but we've taken a few good steps in that direction. I think it'll work out. Eventually. He's a hard man to read sometimes.
No kidding. Let's have a chat with Loris.
Hello again, my friend. It pleases me to see you. I have interesting news.
Does it involve bugs?
Thankfully, no. Rather, it involves the Orb of Peace that you returned with Kaiopaka. It has spoken to me. I've been exploring the meaning of that experience with the Kai and Captain Kira. They are, after all, experts on such matters. While we all find it curious that an Orb of the Prophets would speak to a Vorta, we also agree it would be foolish to ignore it.
Don't you have prior obligations?
With the blessings of Founder Odo, I have been transferred to this quadrant to continue my studies of the Orb and the Prophets. I shall also serve as Founder Odo's representative here. Diplomacy is my specialty, after all. I'm sure we'll be seeing one another again. May the blessings of the Founders and the Prophets be yours.
Boy, that sounds strange coming from her.
It is good to see you once more. I was hoping we'd have a moment to speak on an important matter before your duties take you back to the stars.
Go on.
My thoughts often return to the Orb of Peace. It was no coincidence that it was found in the Gamma Quadrant, in the midst of two warring tribes. I believe it to be a message from the Prophets, one of guidance in troubled times.
Sure, it'd be nice if it actually, made more peace in this area, but I kind of doubt it.
Now that the conflict with the Herc has ended, I feel it's time to explore this omen more thoroughly. The recent vision experienced by Loris is truly remarkable. That the Prophets would speak to a Vorta. Again, this is no coincidence. Simply put, I believe the orb is meant to broker a lasting peace between the people of our quadrants and the Dominion.
It'd be nice if that worked out that way.
Thank you for coming to visit. After all we've been through, it means a lot to have friends. Even if it reminds me of the ones we miss. Speaking of reunions, I think General Martok is leading the charge against the Bloodwine at Quark's. I'm sure he'd want to congratulate you on another glorious victory. May the Prophets watch over you.
Oh, if he attacks the Bloodwine with the same enthusiasm as he attacked the Herc, it should be quite a spectacle. And we got a number of people in here. What does Rom God tell us?
We'll be here at DS9 until my ship is repaired. Fortunately, I have exclusive rights to the holosim of the battle. The sales of that alone will cover the cost of repairs, and then some. Some days it's good to be the Grand Nagus.
Don't ever change, Rom.
I don't like to think about how close to disaster we were, though. Fortunately, there were people like you out there to bring us all back from the brink. All those adventures. You've got quite a story to tell. That reminds me. Have you ever considered making a hollow biography? I think your life story would be quite popular and profitable. I'll make you a very generous offer for the rights and cut you in on a share of the profits, say 25%?
A little early for me to be writing my memoirs.
Suit yourself. The offer still stands if you change your mind.
I mean, technically, it's only 24:10, maybe 24:11 by now. My career's been awfully short. Lita?
Oh, I'm so glad to see this come to an end. But not as glad as everyone back on Ferenginar. It's a celebration of Rule 35 like no one's ever seen before. I mean, peace may be good for business, but things are really getting out of hand. When word got out that the Gamma Quadrant was open for business, the new Latinum rush was on. Open borders and free trade policies? My husband was practically weeping with joy. Oh, poor Odo. He thought he had his hands full with Quark on DS9. Now, he's gonna have an entire quadrant full of Ferengi to deal with.
I can think of no better punishment for his role in yanking the Herc to Bajor than having to deal with that. I can be pretty petty sometimes. Quark?
Welcome back. Seeing as this is a private party and I'm in an unusually generous mood, you'll be getting the VIP discount on your drinks tonight.
He's still a Ferengi.
Did you take a hit to the head in that fight? I'm in a good mood. Not insane. Half off. Take it or leave it. That's more like
fair.
it. Don't take it personally. You could be Odo. His drinks, 50% markup.
Yeah. You know, the last time I saw the Sword of Kahless, it had been swiped by Lek. Now, technically, as the viewers, we know what happened behind the scenes, but the character doesn't, so you might want to explain any of that?
Not much to tell, really. Lex saw the error of his ways and gave it back. Then I had Grilka let Martok and Worf know we'd recovered their precious relic. A quick handoff later, and the Klingons were off to war. Rom and I tagged along, mainly to see the look on Odo's face when I rode in with the cavalry. That was priceless. If I die tomorrow, I'll go to the Exchequer with a smile on my face.
I'm sure you made absolutely no profit.
Who do you think you're talking to? Nog? Unlike the Federation, the Klingons know the value of Latinum. I'm thinking of spending my cut on a smaller moon to orbit the one I already have. I might even name it Odo.
Yeah, I think that's about enough. General!
A hard-fought battle and a well-earned victory. And yet, we almost missed it. Our fleet would have never left the Empire if it weren't for the sword's return. Grilka tells me her former mate, Quark, had something to do with that. The sacred blade of Kahless, returned to the Empire by a Ferengi. Madness!
Yeah, who'd have thunk it?
Yes, it was Worf's idea to ignite the beacon of Kahless. A bold move, but it paid off. Only a coward could refuse such a call to arms.
I could make a comment about your Chancellor, but that would be foreshadowing a little too far ahead.
The legend of Kahless is stronger than ever. It would not surprise me if the High Council moved to create a new clone of the Emperor. There is great power in legend, after all.
Ooh, that could be more foreshadowing. Captain Nog.
We need to stop running into each other when the fate of the galaxy is on the line. I'd be fine with drinks here at Uncle's bar, or some baseball on the holodeck. That said, I can't think of too many people I trust when everything's on the line. Glad you were here for this.
Ditto. Where you heading now?
Starfleet's assigned the Chimera to peacekeeping duty in Herc space. We'll be working with the Joint Task Force to help the Herc get back on their feet again as well. There's a lot to be done, but we want to help them rejoin the galactic community.
Oh, that'll keep you busy.
It is, but my crew is up for the challenge. They're some of Starfleet's best. Take care of yourself out there. Don't be a stranger.
And Nefpar, who helped explain how we got here in the first place.
I am forever indebted to you. Without your efforts, I would walk the path of exile for the rest of my days. Now, I will help make amends for all that has happened during Zencast's terrible crusade.
Make the most of it.
Interesting. There's a message from Garrick on my monitor here. Text only. He wants you to meet him at his old tailor shop. Maybe he's had enough of politics and wants to get back in the fashion game. Probably more profitable in the long run, and easier on the nerves.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
that seems
keep him waiting
dubious.
if I were you. He looks for secrets when he gets bored, and trust me, he's not the person you want poking around in your business.
Alright. Well, I might as well prevent him from being bored. Let's see. Tailor shop. Tailor shop. Couldn't remember what direction I needed to go in there. And there he is. And, oh, Captain Kamarki. Chat with you momentarily.
Thank you for meeting me here. Strangely, I find it easy to center myself in this shop. Even relax.
Good memories?
Quite so. Cardassia is about to begin a new journey, as it were, and I'll be going along for the ride.
Excitement City.
Oh, it is. Cardassia has been offered membership in the Alliance, and we've accepted. Our seat at the table was hard-earned, but we're ready and grateful to join the ongoing efforts. Officer exchange programs have already begun. In fact, I suspect you'll be seeing more Cardassian faces in the future.
And we are.
Show them the same
You can make Cardassian captains at this point. I believe there are bridge officers too.
Adventures.
And what do you plan to be doing during all of this?
Oh, I'll be spending time on Earth, Kronos, and New Romulus. The life of an ambassador is never dull, after all. Someone needs to make sure the Alliance doesn't forget about Cardassia, and I suppose that someone is me. I'll be sure to follow your exploits, of course. They'll be far more entertaining than economic forecasts and state functions, to be sure.
I kind of like them to get back to being boring, but come to think of it, they never have been. Captain Kumargi.
The conflict may be over, but there's still plenty of work to be done. The Lucari have offered to help the Herc restore their homeworld's ecosystem, and they've accepted. Dr. Bashir will be working with us on this. It's our goal to ensure that no Herc will go without nourishment again.
Sounds like
Some
a plan.
time ago, I hoped for a path to peaceful resolution to our troubles with the Herc. I'm happy to be part of such a solution, at last. Thank you for your efforts in getting us all to this point. To peace.
And that is pretty much the last we'll see of Captain Kumargi. She's been around for quite some time now, and it's time for her to head out of the story and make room for new individuals. Okay, looks like the government leaders would like to have a chat. Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. We'll start with Quinn.
There have been some significant diplomatic events since your return from the Gamma Quadrant. First, the Dominion is joining the Alliance. Having them as allies will take some getting used to, but the opportunity was too great to ignore.
Which is why you see Jem'Hadar captains now, as well as bridge officers available.
As a condition to joining the Alliance, we requested that the Founders take steps to free the Jem'Hadar from their addiction to Ketracel White. I'm happy to say that Ambassador Odo is inclined to comply with that request. It will make things interesting in the Gamma Quadrant, to be sure. Still, it's been a long time coming. The Jem'Hadar should be able to live their lives freely.
Let's hope they don't go violent and insane like they've been known to do before. Oh, how about that? Timpok finally shows up.
The Havas Cool sector has been designated as independent from the Dominion, and a Herc neutral zone has been established around it. The Empire will join the Federation and the Republic in keeping the peace between the Dominion and the Herc. We have experience in enforcing a neutral zone after all.
Oh, not recently.
Martok's use of the beacon and the return of the blade has led to a renewed interest in Kalis throughout the Empire. Some say that Martok stands with honor next to great heroes like Tukuvma, Vok, Laurel, and Kang. As if getting along with a stubborn old Targ wasn't difficult enough, his ego will be larger than Mount Hamar at this rate. It is fortunate that Martok has little in the way of political aspirations. Otherwise, I may need to kill him. Again.
Yeah, we're not going to try to think about what that might portend for the future. And finally, my boss.
I have initiated a dialogue between the Dominion and the Karema. In light of recent events, I feel it is imperative that their conflict is resolved peacefully. Whether that results in an independent Karema or not remains to be seen, but I shall endeavor to help them reach a result that is beneficial for both parties.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time we've done something like that. And to stop at the sick bay. Where it all began here, apparently. Dr. Bashir?
Things are finally settling down around here. Well, as much as it ever settles down, that is.
Weren't you planning on going back into retirement?
Well, there's a lot to be done with the Herc, and being part of Starfleet will help me make things happen in that regard. When I'm not here, I'll be working with the Lucari and the crew of the USS Aventine to help the Herc get back on their feet.
That's a bit of a trip.
Indeed, but I happen to be married to the captain of the Aventine, so it won't be, you know,
for those curious,
the kids won't be
the Aventine is the current command
team restore Havas
of a
Cool
Captain
to a more
Dax.
habitable state, however. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon, but until then, be safe out there. Doctor's orders.
And finally, the instigator of pretty much the entire arc.
The Dominion is about to go through a number of changes, liberating the Jem'Hadar from the White, phasing out the Founders' benevolent dictatorship, establishing a safe haven for the Herc. Needless to say, I'm going to be very busy for quite some time.
Yeah, I can imagine that's going to cause some issues.
No. There are still a number of Founders within the Great Link who will be very resistant to change. I'd like to think they're outnumbered by those willing to take a more democratic approach, however. The last thing anyone needs is a Dominion civil war.
I hear that.
Also, not all of the Herc were cured. We'll be dealing with rogue swarms for some time. I hope we can call on you in the future if we run into that special kind of trouble you have a talent for dealing with. Oh, and speaking of
more
trouble,
major wars.
You might keep an eye on Quark. That little act of heroism with the sword of Kalis will make him bolder than ever.
I'm sure we'll be watching. Alright, the ship is cleared for departure. It's time to leave. As we wait for the thing to finish loading. Final debrief.
The future of the Dominion is uncertain for the first time in many years. Without the Founder and her unbreakable will at the center of it all, the Gamma Quadrant will undoubtedly go through a great deal of turmoil. I'll do what I can to maintain order and keep the peace, but it's going to be challenging, to say the least. For now, what matters to me is that you fought for the Dominion when we needed it the most. I won't forget that. And thanks to the Great Link, neither will the Founders. Thank you. I hope we meet again under much better circumstances.
Alright, the trifecta, a heel rock emote, and we're grabbing that phase waveform beacon because, as I mentioned right up at the top, I cannot resist having yet another way of bringing help to join us. And that is going to do it for tonight. It ran a little longer than normal, but I felt that wrapping everything up nicely and neatly was the way to go here. I hope you enjoyed the stream this evening. We will pick up again next week, next Wednesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, approximately, where we will be kicking off a new arc, which has, well, let's just say I have some interesting commentary about it and leave it at that. We'll save it for later. Thank you for watching, Cap, Legend, and everybody else in the chat who may or may not be watching. I also will be streaming on Saturday afternoon, Star Citizen, 1 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. So if you have an interest in that game, feel free to stop by and take a look. Thanks everybody for watching. I will see you all next time. This is Korath Landwalker, signing off.